talking about religion on the internet at all is not a good idea, but here I am. This week, I posted a video criticizing Candace Owens for being what I would call a grifter, and her fans came to defend her. And what that turned into was a lot of hateful speech from Christians, and I'm not even going to quote unquote it. Christians came for me in a way that made me have to seriously examine if I want to be aligned with other Christians. I grew up in a Baptist church. My name was in the bulletin when I was born. My mom was the choir director. My dad was the assistant pastor. I was going to church camp from the time I was 13. I was singing in the choir at 14. My whole life has been a very Christian experience. And I didn't truly turn my life over to the Lord until I was 20, but I had come out as gay when I was 17. I knew I was gay when I was 4. So up until my own experience with salvation, I had been told I was going to hell regardless for the way that I was born. I knew I was gay again at 4 years old. Like, I didn't choose that. No child would have the wherewithal to know how to choose that. But this isn't a gay story. This is my story about my faith and my religion. I've always brushed up against the stereotypical, and I look really uncomfortable right now because I am fucking uncomfortable talking about this, but whatever, I'm being really raw and vulnerable, so I don't care. Also, if you are a practicing Christian, do not come at me with some Bible verse thought eliminator. Like, I have done this my whole life, and I'm being really honest for those of us who are struggling with faith and religion, and you coming to patronize me with the Bible the same way that has been done to me my entire life in the church might actually be exactly what pushes me over the edge. So like, how about you save it and listen? Because I'm not actually asking for anyone to come in and witness to me. I know my relationship with Jesus. I'm questioning my relationship with you. So do not come in this comment section and on my other platforms and harass me or try and get me to, I know what you're going to say. I've heard it my entire life, and it's not good enough. So if you're going to say anything, don't let it be some dumb shit, because I'm really on the verge right now. Maybe I'm on the verge. So just let's have a conversation, but I'm not in a space where I'm going to allow you to talk at me and weaponize the Bible towards me. I'm not interested. So I just need to make that as a preface. Also, hello. If you've never seen me before, I'm coming in hot. My name is Horace. I'm an actor and a content creator here in Los Angeles. Welcome to my channel, Hardly Qualified. This is a series that I'm starting called Things I'm Struggling With. And I want to be very vulnerable on the internet, and specifically YouTube. I think sometimes on this app, we present a very finished product and a very expert opinion, and I am not an expert around this. I've been struggling with my religiosity for a very long time as a gay, alcoholic, non-celibate, I just quit smoking, but I'm a bad boy. And I think that's the way that Jesus made me. I don't think that me being gay is a sin. I don't think that me being an alcoholic was a sin. And I define this differently. And I'm not really open to having your explanation. Again, I'm coming in hot at like Christians TM right now, because I'm like, girl, I'm pissed off. And I'll tell you a little bit about like what happened in a second, but I just need to give some like qualifiers of like, I'm a real deal Christian. I'm the type of Christian that Jesus actually would have hung out with. I'm like not pretty around the edges. I curse, I smoked, I was not perfect. And my Jesus never required me to be perfect. And I was like, cool, girl, because I'm not. I will be exactly as you made me, and I will still serve the Lord in the ways that the Lord asked me to. But I don't know that I am comfortable being yoked with Christians anymore. I'm putting on chapstick, hold on. And like, so what happened is I posted a video because Candace Owens is like having a moment right now where she is slowly trying to rebrand, quote unquote, as this like pop culture expert with the Justin Baldoni, Blake Lively conversation. And I posted a video being like, yo, don't let her grift. She's trying to like, introduce you and induct you into the alt-right pipeline. This is how it works. You talk about something nebulous, and then you slowly turn the water back up, and now suddenly people are more welcomed and open to the idea of listening to a Candace Owens, and she is famously alt-right. And so this is how the alt-right pipeline works. And boy, oh boy, did I summon the demons. And I knew I was getting into it, but there was one girl in particular. And you know what? I'm just going to say it. Hell yeah. You got under my skin, girl. You got me. When people are like, oh, don't read the comments. Like, oh my God, an Instagram comment got to you. Yes, it did. It got to me because it reminded me of the people I went to church camp with. This is not even a Donald Trump thing. This is a thing that I was experiencing as a child in like the early 2000s. Like, I know this type of girl, and it happens with boys, but there's something specifically evil about the mean Christian girl who is just vile, but does it in a long denim jean skirt and pin straight hair, and thinks that she's holier than thou because she's never orgasmed, and that she is like supposed to be this like ever reminder. You know, they're usually named like Rachel or Mary, or you know what I mean, like that type of girl. And she commented something that was so fucking vile that I was like, you're evil. I got my phone so I could read it to you and see what her fucking name is, because I hate this girl. I hate you. Okay, so this girl commented, debate her, as in debate Candace Owens. And I don't care about Candace Owens. And I troll very heavily on Instagram. So all I did was I looked at her Instagram and saw that she's married to some man. And I commented back saying, check if your husband has Grindr on his phone. LOL, that's an LMAO. That's like literally a key. That's funny, haha. This girl takes it to a 10 and goes, you give off was exposed to pornography and possibly molested as a child. And I said, girl, hello? You using a child being assaulted as an insult is everything I hate about the church. And she goes, I think I'm right. Point is, being exposed to perversion doesn't give you the right to be offended. I go, I can say whatever the fuck I want. Your heart immediately jumping to using someone's pain against them in the name of Christ is actually fucking insane. Enjoy hell, you wench, is how I actually wrapped that up. Because you're going to hell. What's her name? Megan. And sorry, no shade to Megan's, but it is an Meghan, which... Ew! Oh my God! Oh my God! That's like growing an extra bone in your elbow and you look like a horse, Megan. Ew! Take out that H! First of all, it's Megan, Megan. Second of all, you're going to hell with an H. You love an H, don't you, Megan? Goodness me. I don't even fucking know, bitch. You're fucking weird. Okay, so let's get into this. That comment triggered the fuck out of me. Megan, yeah, you got under my skin. Like a little needle. You went inside and you're in there. So I'm literally talking straight to you, Megan. I might even send this to you directly on Instagram because you pissed me off, girl. I believe in Jesus. I don't believe in Christians. If you're going to heaven, that is my personal hell. We do not define heaven the same way. You are not my paradise. You are my personal hell. And I want you to know how interesting I find it to be. As a Christian, I don't even like using the word for myself. As a Jesus follower, as someone who loves Jesus, because if you're a Christian, I'm not a Christian. So you can take it. As someone who loves the real Jesus and grew up on the teachings of Christ, it is very funny to me how often we'll say, oh, the devil will trick you. Don't believe the devil's lies. Don't let the devil deter you from faith. It sounds a lot like you, Megan. Sounds like you're the devil because you're the only one deterring me from my faith. Jesus is blemish free. Jesus is awesome. I have no gripes. I was talking about this with my therapist because I'm going through like literally a faith crisis. And she's like, it's really interesting. You're not actually struggling with like if you believe in Jesus or not. It's not about believing in God. It's about being yoked with you motherfuckers. I do not want to be in the same sentence as you bitches. Y'all are evil. That is such a fucking evil thing to say. I joked. Check if your husband has Grindr on his phone. By no stretch of the imagination is of the same level of using child molestation as an insult. You cannot tell me that those are the same thing. And if that is what you're obsessed with, if that is where your mind goes, Megan, you're a freak. You're a bad person. And you're doing this to defend Candace Owens. Of all people, that's what you're willing to go out on the line for? That's what you're willing to use the name of Jesus Christ to defend child molestation as a joke is for Candace Owens? Megan, let's really think about our priorities here, sweetheart. And what you're doing in the meantime is driving Jesus followers like me who do not feel safe in the church with you away from the teachings of God. So what about this is actually in the name of like recruiting and encouraging people to foster their relationship and their walk with the Lord, because I want nothing the fuck to do with you. I don't even like to use the word Christian anymore because of you, Megan. This is on you. I don't blame Jesus. I blame you, motherfucker. You're doing this to me, and people like you have been doing this to me. And again, I don't even blame this on Donald Trump. As easy it would be to be like, oh, Trump's America. Nah, girl, this has been the stereotypical, archetypical Christian that I have known my whole life. And this is why I've always felt 1 foot in, 1 foot out, because as a gay person who believes in Jesus, do you know how hard it is for me to still show up because I have to deal with motherfuckers like you? And I still show up, and I still seek the Lord, and I still pray, and I still listen. Despite you, I'm a better Christian than you, bitch. I don't make your life nearly as hard as you make mine, but I still show up. And I don't use the Lord's name in vain to wield abuse and pain and torture on other people in the Lord's name. You do. I got the proof. But the issue with the church that I have always had is this feigned inclusivity. This like, oh my God, welcome to Sunday morning church. I'm Pastor Luke and I'm wearing Yeezys and all black and I'm quoting TikToks in the church. And it's at the end of the sermon and I'm going to close my eyes and speak with ellipses in front of every word. And I'm going to make you feel that you are in the presence of the Lord, except for the queers. And that's God's love. I'm sorry, what? What? Shut the fuck up. Oh my God. I'm so tired of it. It's Christians. It's not Jesus. Jesus is not the problem. Christians are the problem. You guys are so hypocritical and inconsistent with the translations of the Bible that you interpret and that you glom onto. Read God and the Gay Christian. Read books that are not the Bible about the Bible, because there is so much evidence that y'all have mishandled it and you've allowed it to be politicized. Christians, unlike any other group in America, consent so quickly and willingly to allow the pot of hot water to turn up and boil slowly and slowly like the frog in the water who doesn't realize that they're being burned alive. That is the American Christian, because you have allowed so much false teaching to become the only way that Christianity can be defined in this country. You have allowed it to be manipulated and politicized. Because if you look at it on paper, Jesus was a socialist who hung out with the sex workers and the disabled. Jesus was a brown man from the Middle East. Y'all would deport Jesus if he was alive in 2025, with this way that American Christianity has been warped and manipulated, if we're being super fucking real about it. Jesus himself never said shit about homosexuality. Christ-centered homosexuality was never talked about in the book. All the verses that you guys are referring to are not it's not talking about me, girl. It's not talking about me. And the unwillingness, the stubbornness that requires you to do so much rationalization that just so that you can push me away. In the name of the Lord? TM? But that's not the Lord. That's you. And And it makes me so sad. It breaks my heart, because like, I love the church and I love Jesus and I love worship and I love learning about God. And it's not God that drives me away. It's not Jesus that makes it hard for me to show up to church. And it's not them, it's you. You all have ruined this for me and so many other people. Like, why don't I get God too? Who the fuck are you to tell me that I can't have access to my God? What gives you the right to ruin that for me? Because now I have to fight, and I have to live alone in this isolated experience because of you. That's fucked up. That's not fair. I will sit here in my home and I will still listen to like the praise and the worship that I grew up listening to, you know, like the songs that are so nostalgic and hold so much like love and memories. Like, It Is Well With My Soul is my favorite hymn. And it's just this picture of like the clouds parting, and it's like just this beautiful moment of like those of us who've like loved and what the ritual of church was, but you have ruined it. The devil didn't do it. You did. And I wish that there were more Christians who could just like take a bit of responsibility, that like, I am not the only person feeling this. I'm not the only person who's had church hurt is not a term that I have created. It is not exclusive to me. There are millions of people in this country and in the world who feel church hurt. God did not come down into human form to hurt people. You did. And I wish that Christians could just take a bit more responsibility and understand that you are one of, if not the entire reason why people are leaving the church and why people then throw the baby out with the bathwater. Like, I don't have a good relationship with the church at this point, but I've never been closer to Jesus because I call him, and I'm lucky that as a sober person, I have a spiritual practice that supplements my connectivity to God. And so I'm able to talk to God. Not everyone has that. And it breaks my heart for like the childhood me who worked so many years and like was in pain and was abandoned, not by God, but by you, the human, the Christian. You abandoned me and us. And I tried so hard to be found by the community. God never went away. Jesus never strayed, but feeling like I had to search and pine for a community of people that I could go on this journey with and like do life with, as the church will say, and to perpetually and continually have my heart broken by you, and then you throw it in my face, it's crazy work. It's fucking nasty work, bitch. It's like the churches that are so like Yeezy church pastor. I'm thinking of like all the LA churches, and I'll say the names: Mosaic, Zoe, fucking One Church, like all the like trendy LA hipster churches, Hillsong shit, Church Home. I've been to all of them. And behind every single one of those churches here in Los Angeles is a Republican donor who does not allow queer people to serve openly in the ministry. And that is the part that is so heartbreaking, because it's this bait and switch. You're like, did I finally find it? Did I finally find the church where the pastor has done his work? The literature that this religion is based around is expansive, and that there's actually context, and that there's nuance to this. It cannot all be taken, like, did I find it? And then you get inside and you're like, oh, it's the same. It's a Republican Trump supporter wearing Yeezys. It's, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you're still the same bitch. Okay, for sure. And at a certain point, it's like when an athlete plays a sport on a sprained ankle, eventually that ankle might break. And I feel very broken. And it's not, again, I'll say this for the 1,000th time. A, do not drop a fucking Bible verse in my comment section. I will slap the shit out of you. I really will. Don't do that. But it's not Jesus. It's not God. It's the church. It's the humans. It's the Christians. Y'all are the problem. And y'all have been the problem my whole life. This is something I'm struggling with. I think this interaction with Meghan reaffirmed how unsafe you all are for me, and how I want nothing to do with you. And it's hard because I don't know if my parents are gonna watch this. I don't know. I don't really wanna hear it from them. But at this point, my God has affirmed for me that I'm in the right direction, and that I'm safe, and that my soul and my afterlife is safe, and that I'm going to heaven. I know I'm going to heaven, but I don't believe that every Christian who claims Christianity, you're not going to the same heaven as me, girl. And I sure as shit do not want to go to the heaven with you. And that's all I know for now. I think it's really interesting for me to not need to identify with a religious umbrella. I feel a lot of emotions and a lot of mourning around just the idea of calling myself a Christian. I really liked being a Christian. I don't know, but you guys have ruined the party, and I gotta go somewhere else because it's not safe for me here. And the church did not get me sober. I'll tell you that much. The church is why I drank, and I've been sober now for over 5 years. And that's largely in part to staying the fuck away from you. I didn't even really want to go back to you, and I'm sure I'm welcoming some of the people I hate into this comment section, but y'all are not my God. I do not have to please you. I do not need you to approve of my faith and my religiosity. I don't give a fuck what you think about me, but I want you to self-examine the ways in which you find your pious superiority over others by being awful human beings. I want you to examine that you might actually be doing more of Satan's work than the Lord's work, because you are driving people away. It's not the devil, baby. It's you. You're the problem, and you have been the problem, and you will continue to be the problem if all you do is search and pine for ways to make yourself superior to others, when that's never what Jesus did. Jesus, the Son of God, who did he hang out with? It wasn't you bitches. He was not hanging out with you motherfuckers. He was hanging out with the people that you bully, and y'all claim that you love Jesus. He didn't fuck with you. So don't sit here and say, and because that's taking the Lord's name in vain. Me saying, God damn it, is, I would say, much less harsh than you pushing people away from Jesus in the name of Christianity. That is taking the Lord's name in vain, because you were not doing the Lord's work. You were doing Satan's work. You were driving people away from the Lord. And I need you guys to take a little bit more fucking responsibility for what you have done and for what you continue to do, and for the next generation that you raise and bring up, because this is not Christianity. And if this is Christianity, then I don't want to be a part of it. I'll see you guys later this week for a less depressing topic.